Hey, have you never completed a mortgage application or have not done so in a long time? Then I'm going to tell you exactly what 6 documents you need to complete your application like a pro and what my clients have done in the past that you should never do. Knock knock, Yitzchak here, realtor and success coach, helping you get from where you are to where you want to be. Please give this video a like and subscribe below. Let's get right into it. Almost all mortgage applications are electronic, so most likely you will be completing your mortgage application online. So I highly recommend, here's a pro tip. Number 1, you create a folder on your computer so that you can begin putting all the documents in that folder so that you can access them very easily and find them as you need it. Because a lot of times you may be asked for another document again or to access it again, or maybe you forgot to upload it originally. You want all of these documents in one place. Okay, let's get into the 6 documents that you're likely going to need. Number 1 is your pay stubs. Lenders want to know your income, and one of the best ways to verify your income is through your check stubs. But I know what you're thinking. I get direct deposit. I haven't even seen my check stubs, and I don't know where or how to access them. I guarantee that you still do have check stubs, so you will have to contact your human resources department to find out how you can access a copy of your pay stubs. And the lender will probably want at least 30 days of pay stubs, or later in your mortgage transaction, they might still probably ask you for updated pay stubs. And if you have more than one job, you need the pay stubs from each and every employer. So it's very important that you know how to access them. Here's a side note. A lot of clients try to give screenshots, like from their cell phone, of the pay stubs or other documents, or even just showing their check stub with their direct deposit screenshot. Those will not be accepted. The lender typically wants a PDF of your check stub, so make sure you know how to access those, because those screenshots will not work, and you want to do this a lot earlier than you're going to begin your application. Because if there's a little time delay in getting that information, you might be delayed in applying for your mortgage. So definitely find out how to access them, and then go ahead and start sliding those pay stubs into your folder. Any additional income, such as child support, alimony, a pension retirement account, or Social Security, you may want to make sure that you document that income. As well, you want to go to whatever that income source is to find the official paperwork for that income. It could be a divorce decree, it could be your financial statement for Social Security statement. You'll want to get those and either download them as a PDF or scan them into PDF documents. And another pro tip, if your agent is able to help you, they may have access to a scanner. Most likely they do. If you don't have access, real estate agents do have those items. So they can actually help you by scanning all your documents and emailing them to you, or saving them for you on a flash drive so you can upload them as part of your application. Number 2, in your application, they're going to want your W-2s for the last 2 years, because they want to see how much you're making year to year. Has your income increased or has it decreased? They're going to want W-2 forms, and you may be saying again, I don't know where my W-2 is, but they're going to be wherever you filed your taxes, because whether you used a tax preparer or you did your taxes yourself, you have a W-2. So now you have to go back and not 1 year, but 2 years to access those W-2 forms. If you cannot access them easily on your own, you can contact your tax preparer to try and get a copy of them, because they likely have it on file. Or the IRS does have tax transcripts, and that could be your last resort. Again, you're going to need this from every employer that you have worked with for the last 2 years. You shouldn't wait. You should organize yourself first before you go ahead and apply for your mortgage. Number 3, they're going to ask you for access to your credit report from all 3 bureaus. Now, this is not a document that you give them, but on the application, they will ask for your social security number. And this will be for all applicants. If I didn't say that yet, I'm saying it here. For every applicant that's applying for this mortgage, they're going to want all of this information from everyone. So you will supply your social security number and you'll give them permission to check your credit. Most lenders will use the middle score. You have 3 credit scores. You have the Equifax, you have the Experian, and you have the TransUnion. So here's an example. If your Equifax is at 675 and your Experian is at 700, and your TransUnion is at 730, they will eliminate the lowest, which is the Equifax. They will eliminate the highest, which is the TransUnion, and they will use the 700 score from Equifax. Your middle score is what they're typically going to use. So just be mindful of that. They will pull all 3, but most likely they're going to use 1 for qualification. You also need, this is number 4, you need bank statements from the last 2 months worth of statements. Go to your bank's website. They usually have where you can see your account, and they'll have the option for you to download your bank statements. It's usually pretty easy to download, typically into a PDF file. So you'll want to download the last 2 bank statements or 60 days. My clients often ask me, well, I have a lot of accounts. I have a savings account. I have a checking account. I have a lot of different accounts at different banks. My answer is typically give them as much as you need to qualify. So if you know that you're using your money from your checking account and your savings account to in order to qualify for this mortgage, that's where your income goes from your direct deposit, or that's where you're saving your down payment money for closing costs, then you need to supply those accounts. But if you have some other accounts that you may also be accessing money from, then you need to supply those bank accounts as well. Number 5, this is going to be dependent on the lender. Some may require rental history. These are typically just questions like, where do you live? How long have you lived there, and how much rent do you pay? And that is pretty easy to answer. They might at some point before you close on your home actually call and verify or ask for more documentation from your landlord or from the leasing office, about your rental history. But as far as the application is concerned, they ask you some questions about your rental history, but don't worry if you still live at home with your parents and you've never rented before. You can still get a mortgage, but they will be asking you those questions. So just answer them truthfully. If you live at home, give that address and say you live at home, and if you pay rent or you don't pay rent. All right, let's go into number 6. They're going to ask for a photo ID. Now, this is just to verify that the person applying for the loan is the person that they're just verifying that person on the application is who is applying. The last piece of pro advice that I can give you is to be truthful on your application. If you want to be a pro, be truthful. I say that because a lot of people don't realize that everything that you put on your application is verified, typically in underwriting, and sometimes that's done it's done later in the process when you're further towards actually you could be under contract. And so I've had clients who gave old check stubs and they didn't work at that job anymore. So you want to make sure you update your application if your income changes, if your job changes, or really if anything changes. If you're kind of scared or afraid to put certain things on the application, thinking you may not qualify, talk to your lender and just get some advice ahead of time. But make sure you're truthful on the application, because that's what they use to qualify you. And if anything changes, you may not qualify when it's time for you to close on your home. Okay, I really hope this was helpful. Please put any questions or comments in this video about your mortgage application, because I want to make sure that you're doing everything like a pro. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel.